We are born in tears, a small cry in a vast world, a sound that marks both the beginning of life and the quiet arrival of pain. From the very first breath, perhaps pain has already chosen us, not as an enemy, but as a silent companion that reminds us to live is to feel. We grow up surrounded by love, yet also by expectations. They tell us to be strong, to be good, to smile, but no one teaches us how to face pain. When we fall, they say, "Get up." When we cry, they whisper, "Don't be weak." And so we learn to hide our tears behind practiced smiles, to bury our fears under layers of, "I'm fine." But the truth is, pain doesn't come only from heartbreak or loss. It seeps quietly into our lives through small things. A harsh word, a disappointed gaze, a feeling of being unseen. We think we're growing stronger, but sometimes we're simply learning how to hurt in silence. We carry these invisible wounds into adulthood, and when love finally finds us, it feels like warmth after a long winter. But love, too, carries fire. It can heal, and it can burn. When it's gone, we don't just lose someone. We lose the part of ourselves that only existed when they were near. And suddenly the world becomes quieter. The bed feels bigger, the nights feel longer, and the heart heavier. Pain doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers. It lives in the pauses between thoughts, in the moments when we stare into nothingness, pretending everything is okay. We start questioning ourselves. Was I not enough? Where did I go wrong? Will this ache ever fade? And so we keep ourselves busy, working, moving, talking, pretending. But pain is patient. It waits for silence. It waits for the night. It waits for the moment you finally stop running. Then it returns, softly, quietly. Not to break you, but to remind you that you're still human. One day, after too many nights of pretending to be okay, you finally stop. You sit still, you breathe, and you realize pain is not here to destroy you. It's here to teach you. Pain is a mirror, reflecting what truly mattered, what you once loved deeply, and what you still need to understand about yourself. Every scar carries a story. Every tear is proof that you once cared. And maybe healing doesn't start with forgetting, but with remembering differently. Healing begins the moment you can look at your wound without flinching. When you can talk about your past without trembling. When you can remember and still smile. To heal is not to erase the past. It's to make peace with it. Forgiveness becomes the bridge. Not forgiveness for others, but for yourself. For the mistakes, the moments of weakness, the times you didn't know better. Forgive yourself for staying too long. Forgive yourself for leaving too soon. Forgive yourself for not being the person you thought you should be. Because forgiveness is not about saying, "It's okay." It's about saying, "I choose to stop carrying this weight." And that's when love returns. Not the desperate kind that begs to be seen, but the gentle kind that starts within. You begin to understand. People come and go, dreams change, seasons end, and that's okay. Not everyone is meant to stay. Some are meant to teach you love, some are meant to teach you loss, and some are meant to teach you how to let go. With time, you'll realize that every loss carved space for something new, for growth, for wisdom, for compassion. Pain, when faced with honesty, becomes light. It no longer suffocates, it illuminates. Healing doesn't happen all at once. It's not a clean break or a straight line. It's messy, cyclical, and often invisible. You might think you've moved on, and then one song, one scent, one sunset brings it all back. But this time, you don't fall apart. You just breathe, because now you understand. This ache is not your enemy. It's the echo of having lived fully. We are souls learning how to be human. And being human means breaking, aching, and still choosing to love again. The world doesn't need us to be perfect. It needs us to be real. And real means allowing ourselves to feel, even when it hurts. When you stop fighting your pain, it stops fighting you. When you stop rewriting the past, the present becomes softer. A person who has lost everything knows the weight of gratitude. To breathe, to see, to love again, these become miracles. Life, after all, is a dance between losing and finding. We lose people, dreams, moments, and then somehow we find ourselves. No one escapes pain, but anyone can choose to grow through it. Healing isn't about becoming someone new. It's about returning to who you truly are. The self before the world taught you to guard your heart. You don't need to forget to heal. You just need enough love to say, yes, this still hurts, but it no longer controls me. Pain then becomes a teacher, quiet, patient, and wise. It teaches humility, empathy, and kindness. Because once you've known your own darkness, you